Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Black Law and Legalized Social Distancing Edition 2.
Wait, why you not looking in the camera?
I am looking at the camera, just not that the camera that you can see me through. See what I'm
Uh,
saying? See what I'm
that's
saying?
awesome. That's great.
High tech, high quality shit over here. Something we ain't got that bootleg
Whatever.
iPhone shit. My name is
Whatever.
Dan. You can keep up with me on Twitter and on IG at I am Dan on Drugs. Keep up with the show, all platforms at Black Law Podcast.
Hi, and I'm Just Dan, and you can follow me on Twitter at I Tell Legalize. And it's an iPad, not an iPhone. Thank you.
That's why that shit look fucking jacked up.
Whatever. It's an
So,
iPad. Thank
jumping
you.
right into it, ladies and gentlemen. On a serious note, ladies and gentlemen, what we are seeing now. Okay, last week or last episode, we talked about the stimulus package. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what we are seeing is a lot of people are getting furloughed and laid off. So,
Mm-hmm.
what I wanted to ask Anne is right now, what are some resources other than unemployment that furloughed workers can take advantage of?
That is actually going to be the main one because as a product of the act that was passed, this new stimulus bill, they've actually increased unemployment. We talked about that. So, whatever your normal unemployment would be for your state, the federal government is adding $600 to that. So, that is going to be the main source of that's what they did it for, so that people, and you can actually do that for 8 weeks.
8
So
weeks. I thought it was
eight
until the
weeks.
end of the year. Or are they
Well,
going to
no,
come back
you
in
can
8
apply.
weeks?
No, you can apply until December 31st, 2020, because everything that was enacted actually flows and goes until December 31st, 2020. So if you are laid off as a result of coronavirus, anytime between now until December 31st, you can receive unemployment and the extra $600 will apply. So
Gotcha.
that is, as I said, that's going to be the main thing. But, you said that people are being furloughed. So,
Mhm.
being furloughed and laid off implies two different things. Because with a furloughed employee, you actually continue to receive certain benefits from your employer, i.e., they continue your medical and some other benefits. And it depends on your employer. That's not like a hard and fast rule about what you can and cannot give to your employee if you furlough them, as opposed to laid off. So when someone is laid off, that implies that you may or may not go back, and they are not required to continue paying benefits to you.
Gotcha. So it's more or less we are being kind and trying to do something to help you out more or less.
Right, pretty
Now,
much.
with the stimulus they're rolling out this week, there was a lot of uncertainty last episode because
Yep.
the package or the bill kept, well, not necessarily the bill kept changing, but the details
The the
kept
the
changing.
way the way the IRS or the Department of Treasury was actually rolling it out kept
Right. We
changing.
gave
So
some false information, and I
what was it?
apologize to the listeners. I
What
apologize
was
when
it?
we said
What was
that you had to file a simple return. I mean,
wait, wait,
that
hold
might
up.
have been true at the time,
Right. So
but
it was not false information. It
it
was true.
it's
It was
false
true at the
now.
point it was no, it was true at the point that we told them. And just to let you know, you some people are still required to file a simple return. So that was not 100% false.
Who are those people?
Some people, those people are people who are that do not have who have income but don't have a filing requirement, meaning they did not make enough money that they are required to file a tax return. Though that specific group of people has to file a simple tax return. That is the only way that the government is going to know to send you money.
Got you. And the disbursement method, we have found out that
Oh, wait, hold
if
up, stop. Let me back up a little bit. So there is this thing, having said that, there is this link on the IRS's website where if you do not have a filing requirement, you can click the link and it will take you to another IRS application that would have you create an account and put in information that would allow the IRS to send that stimulus money to you. So
so that
that's
would
something
be
else.
direct deposit. If you filed a tax return at an H&R Block or Jackson
Hmm.
Hewitt type of
Hmm.
place,
Hmm.
if you did not get direct deposit to into your bank account from these places, you will receive a paper check in the mail, and they are
At the address, at the address on your tax return. So if you have
change that
moved,
address.
well, and but here's
Shit, it's
the
kind of
thing.
late now, but
It's going to be hard because just like everyone else, the IRS has furloughed some people. So there's very limited help at the IRS right now. Anybody calling in, you will probably not get an answer from even the automated system. Like I've called some of the automated systems and it says, uh, this system is not being manned. You will not get personal help, yada yada yada. But the only thing that you can do is find out the status of your tax return.
okay. So if you moved, God bless. Um,
No, that's not true. So wait, so watch this. So
can't
and
you
I'm
fill out
saying
a
this,
change of address form though and just mail it into them? I mean,
yes,
whether or
and
not
that is what we have been encouraging people to do, to go and onto irs.gov, fill out a form. It's called an 8822.
a
Fill it
idiot
out,
22. Okay.
8822.
Okay.
Fill it out, sign it, mail it to the IRS. There should be people there that are still, they're still getting mail. Now, how fast they're actually processing these things, that's the issue. But I will still say that it may be worth doing it. And the reason why it may be worth doing it is because, according to the IRS, 15 days after they send out your money, they are going to send a letter to the address that they have on record for you, telling you exactly how they dispersed the money. And if you did not receive it, telling you how you can then go about changing your information so that the IRS will get updated information. So if you fill out an 8822 with your current address after they actually send your money, you still may be able to get the 15-day letter that tells you how to change your information for them to send you out a new one.
Okay, and last bit of information is the paper checks, the direct deposits, they're just gonna be hitting, and if I'm not mistaken, as of today, I wanna say a few
People are
people
getting them.
have
Hmm.
gotten them that I know
People are getting.
because their
Yep.
dumbasses getting on social media talking about, "Yeah, I got my, stimulus money, I got my
Hmm.
1,700." Like, dumbass, why are you broadcasting that to the world? Because nigga, you owe
Hmm.
me $20. Now I'm about to roll up with my N95 mask and be like, hey, what up, though? So,
No, but let me tell you a funny story about these things. Okay, for everybody out there that has allowed someone to claim their kids on their tax return.
oh yeah, let me explain that real quick to maybe our non people of color listeners. What we tend to do in our community a lot is if we have children and maybe not necessarily a job during tax time, we sell our kids. So
Mhm.
we know
Mm.
that you might get a couple $1,000s back by claiming our children on your tax return. So you know what? All right, you give me 1,500, and I'll let you claim one of my kids. One kid's worth 1,500 in the black community. No matter what.
I don't
1,500.
know about that. I don't know about that, but okay.
It used to be 1,000, but inflation. So, but oh yeah, what I was gonna say too though is the checks that are getting mailed out, they're sending them out based on income. So low
Right,
income people first, and then medium high, and then up to the upper limits of it. So
right,
if you make under $10,000, you're probably going out in the first wave. If you make
right,
under 20, second wave, under 30,
right,
third wave. Some people
right.
might not get their initial stimulus check until May. So moving on, right?
Or
But
June or July, because according
later
to
this year.
right, because according to the IRS, they can only process so many
Now, moving on
in a
because
week.
again, time's limited. What I'll start by saying is today pissed me off going out into the public and seeing how busy, how many people. I go out once a week to the grocery store to get items like stuff that you can't stock up on, like milk, things that expire pretty quickly. Go out to the grocery store. It's mad out here everywhere. But I've been going out once a week for the past 3 weeks, and I've been noticing a lot of employees that work at grocery stores. They have no PPE, they have no hand
Mhm.
sanitizer,
Correct,
they have no
correct,
gloves. I'm looking at
correct.
the Amazon delivery people. I even
Mhm.
asked one of them who delivered the package. He was I happened to be outside. I was like, "Yo, man, they ain't give you no gloves or no hand sanitizer." Nope. And these third party people that drive the Mercedes Benz Amazon trucks, they don't work for Amazon. They work for a
Nope.
local carrier.
Independent company. Correct.
Right. So it's like Amazon's passing the buck, and these people, they ain't giving them shit.
Well,
And
not that Amazon is passing the buck. Everybody is actually passing the buck. Because think about it. Some some grocery stores just got retrofitted with plexiglass to
yeah,
protect the cashiers.
the one I'll
Some of
go
them
to just did that. This the last time I went to the grocery store was the first time I saw that. That was last week.
right. And so we have been battling this thing since February. And think about it. This is what the 10th what this is April. We're in April
April,
now.
yeah, April 11th.
So so for 3 months,
Yeah,
3 months we've been battling this thing, and these people just got retrofitted
right.
with something that could semi protect them from droplets. But having said that, and how these companies are not
You
protecting.
oh, UPS. UPS is another one too. And let me tell y'all another real quick story. I'm
Uh-oh.
I'm going mad. I'm working from home and I just get up and I walk my property. And I never I grew up not having a yard. I grew up in the hood. Our yard was like a little slab of cement in front of the house. And I hated this yard until recently. Being stuck, yo, I'm like, man, having a yard, this shit is it. Cause I'm walking my property but I'm sitting
That
out
boy said,
front.
I'm marking my profit.
I'm telling you. But the UPS dude rolls up with 2 boxes from Sam's. I had to order some monsters from Sam's. So I saw him and he get out the truck and I look at him, I get up and I run around the corner. So I'm like, that dude probably about to be offended, but fuck that. You staying the fuck away from me. That dude said, thank you. I'm like, you got it, bruh.
Right,
So
right,
but
right.
the employees, a lot of them aren't protected. But on the news, they'll lead you to believe that these companies are protecting their employees. So let's say an employee,
They don't have enough PPE for everybody. That's
well,
the thing.
right,
They don't have
well,
enough.
it depends on how you define PPE as well. Let's just say gloves. Let's say hand sanitizer, cleaning products. Y'all should have that at grocery stores and
But you
at.
know what? How are they gonna have it when the supply is being diverted? Think about this.
Well, there's 2 supply
The
chains. There's 2 supply chains. You have your commercial supply chain and you have
Mhm.
your stuff that we buy from the grocery store. The
All
commercial
right, but
supply
so
chain is still functioning
it
pretty
is,
much
but
the same.
it is functioning very slowly. Because this is why, think about it. This is why hospitals don't have enough PPE. So we are being supplied by freight companies and by these companies that make industrial hand sanitizer and all this other stuff. That honestly, the way I'm looking at this, there is not enough PPE for grocery store workers and nurses. You know what I'm saying? There are not enough masks And I'm not
Well,
talking about the N95.
fuck the
I'm talking
mask.
about like the little surgical mask, gloves. They're not like
Fuck
you try to buy gloves right now.
fuck the mask and gloves. All I want to see at the grocery stores. I mean, it will be nice, but I'm gonna tell you like this. In talking to Paul, former firefighter EMT, gloves aren't going to do most people any good because there's
Right?
a proper way to put them on and take them off. So you put your gloves
Right?
on, you're going out shopping, you're touching shit, and then you touch your
You're
face.
touching your face, right? Just
Or
like with the mask.
you
Just like the
go,
masks are not designed really to protect you from somebody else. They're
yes,
supposed to
the
be
droplets
protecting someone else from you, but there is a certain way that you need to wear that as well for it
and
to be effective.
clean it often. But then taking the gloves off. When you take the gloves off, most people just take them off. In
And they're
doing
supposed to
that,
turn
you're
them
touching them
inside out.
right. You're
Mhm.
touching the gloves with your hands and whatever. But I still would like to see businesses at minimum create social distance. I know a lot of the grocery stores that I go to, they do have
They are
markings
trying.
now in the
They're trying,
lines.
but that actually means that people have to adhere because Walmart has created one-way aisle. How many people actually adhere to that? Like
Right.
you can
And that's
only go
still
down these
stupid.
aisles one, and it is stupid. And that's the thing. Everything that people put in place, from grocery stores to government, whatever, relies on the actions of people. Rely
Right.
on people to actually adhere to what is going on. Just like you said, people are out like because it's Easter weekend. People
Yeah.
are out like woohoo, and then
It's over.
on top of that, we've been told that we are flattening our curve and that the rate of infection is lowering, the rate of death is lowering. So in people's heads, that's like, well, shoot, I can go hang out because we about to get through this thing, and that is 100% false.
And we're gonna
That
see
is false.
a second wave coming soon. So let's just jump right into it because my phone says we got about 8.5 minutes left.
Okay, all right.
The workers that we're talking about that aren't being protected, even the workers that are being protected, can they sue their employers for if they catch COVID or the coronavirus?
Wait, did you see the video about where the chick went through and started signing, and she did not know sign language. She busted in this press conference, and she asked them, and they literally just said, okay, she offered her services,
They
and
did
they
that
said
to
okay.
Obama.
Exactly, they said okay, and the lady was like, she was doing all kinds of things. I was
Trying to go, I
so
would
weak.
be. I know sign. It's like uh, uh,
Wait, really?
uh,
That
bring it
that's
back
it.
that way. Bring it back.
No. Anyway, so
So
you were asking whether or not these workers can actually sue their employers.
if
So
they
here's
catch
the thing.
coronavirus, yes.
As we always say, you can sue anybody for anything at any time. Whether or not they will be successful is actually going to depend on a number of things. So we know that OSHA, Occupational Health and Safety, they have standards, and one of those standards is, let me read this because I had this thing. Let me read it and what it says. So OSHA says that as an employer, you have um, you have to furnish each of your employees a place of employment which is free from recognized hazard that can cause or is likely to cause death or serious physical harm, right?
Okay.
So that's what OSHA says, that you have to basically provide your employees with a safe environment,
Right.
free from something that can deadly cause them death or bodily harm, serious bodily injury. Well, we know that coronavirus can lead to death,
It can.
right? So as far as can they sue, yes, they can if they can try. Matter of fact, there is a Walmart employee's family who is actually suing Walmart for wrongful death right now. And it is as a result of
The
coronavirus.
coronavirus. Mhm.
Right, he died. COVID-19, and his family is suing Walmart because they said that Walmart did not provide their employees with PPE.
I can believe it.
But
Okay.
the thing is, whether or not that is going to be successful, as I said, relies on a number of things. Can this employer show that they actually did take steps? And steps related to COVID-19 and coronavirus would be, what does the CDC says? What CDC guidelines? They have them,
Mhm.
right? CDC guidelines says you have to. This is what you're required to do.
6
Let's
feet,
do
this, that, and the
6
other.
feet.
Yeah.
Let social distance, whatever, whatever, whatever. At the top of the show or in the middle of the show, whatever, I said and we said that this all depends on people. So I tell you, stay 6 feet away. If you choose to invade my personal space and get up close and personal,
Assault. Would
could
that
be.
not be assault?
If I thought you were trying to harm me, and I guess spraying me with droplets, and I don't know whether or not you have you have coronavirus,
Shit, that's an
definitely.
act of terrorism. Matter of fact, I saw this thing in like Tennessee or Kentucky or something where someone was going around doing pranks and just coughing, in places around people.
Right,
They
which
got
is
charged with terrorist threats, making terrorist
I
threats or acts or something.
exactly, especially in this environment. And you can liken that to HIV. You remember when the guy was going around intentionally infecting people with HIV? Well,
Yeah,
and he was actually criminally charged, and it attempted murder is what they charged him with.
and that's
So
that's good. So going back to these employees though, so if Walmart can say if they can show because any employer is going to cover their asses in documentation. You might have an employee handbook, you might have guidelines that is supposed to go out to all the employees, but
right, but
employees
that's not
never
what
see it.
this is why I think, even though you may sue, this is why I think that that suit is not going to be successful. Most of these places like Walmart is probably going to settle out of court. They're not going to take this to court. But if they did, I think they would win. And the reason why I think they would win is because this employee's family has to prove that they contracted disease at Walmart. Coronavirus is everywhere. How can you show causality? How can you show that they got it at Walmart? I can say
Right.
you got it at home, or you got it from Ray Ray's house, or you got it from church. So how can I prove that I got it at Walmart? That's going to be what all this stuff turns on.
Yeah, but again, going back to a lot of these companies, like, did you take proper safety precautions? And
Correct?
a lot of them, no. A lot of companies, at the same time, they weren't prepared to handle anything of this magnitude either. Because who
Right?
expects
Right?
a worldwide global pandemic? And you see the conspiracy theories, you'll see the 5G towers are
See?
doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Seriously? That's what's
Yep.
doing this? 5G? Then why would
5G.
you know what?
5G killing us.
M
iPhone's been killing us for a very, very long time too.
man, people fucking dumb. So you can sue your employer whether you win or not. There's the
See,
guy
that's
in
up in
New
the air.
York, the dude in New York that organized the Amazon protest who got fired
Mhm.
because they
Mhm.
said, "Oh, we told him to stay out because 'cause he'd been exposed." If he had been
Mhm.
exposed, damn near everyone he works with would have been exposed. Why
Was
the fuck were
exposed.
they still
Right.
there?
Right.
And then I forgot the second one, but there was like a class action suit that's going on right now for
That's like I said. Most of these things are probably going to be settled out of court.
I would
Because Walmart is probably going to settle, and the family's going to take it because I understand trying to prove a point. I understand. I want you and I want the world to know that I think you did this, but in the end, money's not going to bring them back. And more than likely, like I said, Walmart is going to settle. So there's not going to be anything that's going to get them to change what they're doing.
Right.
So it's almost an exercise in futility. But yeah,
Man, so would you recommend any of our listeners, if them or if you or a family member have
hell yeah,
contracted the coronavirus, you
hell
would say
yeah,
sue, even if
yeah.
nobody died? Let's still sue, even if no
Still,
one died?
absolutely, absolutely, because it's not about. I hope you don't die. I mean, that's not what you're trying to do. What
Yeah,
lawsuits like well, what lawsuits like this fundamentally are trying to do is change patterns of behavior. I
yeah,
want to hit you where it hurts, to the point where you're going to change something. So, what they're trying to say is, I want you to take my life seriously and the lives of my coworkers seriously enough to change your actions
and
given this circumstance.
that's
And
not
so,
gonna happen, and let me too, we're jumping around, but that's because I feel kinda time crunched here, and it's like 90 seconds left, and we're gonna see what happens after that. But so people of color disproportionately have been affected by coronavirus, right? So
we
like
talked
a
about
couple of
that.
days ago, the news, I saw it on the news, and they're like, "This is so mysterious. We don't understand it." And then now I'm starting to hear doctors, even your boy, Dr. Corey
Like,
Bear,
Abel.
talking about, well, black people have more underlying conditions, high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes. Y'all are missing the fucking point. Black people, the disparity in wealth in this country, like the disparity in opportunity,
In
resources,
healthcare.
we
Yeah,
don't
healthcare.
have, like, I don't want to say black people don't have good jobs, but you know who's working most of the shitty jobs?
Well, it's not
Minorities,
it's not shitty jobs. It is jobs that they
minimum
consider
wage jobs.
right, essential. So you have to eat. So fast food restaurants are open. Who works at
Exactly.
fast food restaurant?
Right.
Your garbage has to be picked up. Who is picking up your garbage? You know,
Grocery stores. Yeah.
you ride public transportation. Who's driving those buses?
Exactly, but they're ignoring this shit. They're pointing at, oh, diabetes, high blood pressure, which sure, but that's not the root cause. The root cause is we have to get out here in these streets and work. We have to go to, and it's funny. Like I see people on Twitter talking about, well, shit, all y'all motherfuckers still working. Y'all should be happy. Y'all still have a job. Nigga,
Really?
what?
No, but
Motherfuckers, they are
see,
just
that's
as
the thing.
scared. They're just as scared. But the thing
Oh
is,
yeah,
they're also scared of being homeless, not paying their bills, not being able to feed their kids. Like,
kids, right, and
yo,
that's the thing. You think about just here, regional transit authority. I talked about bus drivers. That was a bus driver that was on the news under anonymity because she was afraid to lose her job, and that's what she kept saying. She kept saying, "I can't not go to work because if I don't go to work, I'll be fired,
mm-hmm,
and then you know." My kids, yeah, I can go on unemployment, but even unemployment is sketchy because up until Monday, which is I think tomorrow, well, no, 2 days from now,
right,
that's when that $600 is going to kick in. And who
right.
knows how, and that's not going to last forever.
And it
So
also
now,
doesn't cover medical, dental, and all that other shit, right?
exactly right. So now I am out of a job up until December. Well, for 2 months, I'm going to have this 800 and however much dollars. But then after that, what?
Right,
So I have to go to work. And not only do I have to go to work, I have to go to work and I have to be in a confined space with other people who are also forced to go to work. And they are touching and in contact with thousands of people a day.
right.
So, yeah, no, it's, we talk a lot about racial disparity amongst people of color. And, you talk about comorbidities and these underlying illnesses. Yes, the lack of healthcare is a reason, but think about too why Black people have high blood pressure and diabetes. It's
Because
the way
white
we
people
eat.
stressing us out.
It's the way we eat. But we eat that way because
Not on
it's cheap
well,
to eat.
yeah, and not
It's the way
only
we
that,
eat,
I said that jokingly, white people stressing us out, but no, our lifestyles are very stressful for the most
right?
part. Just being black in America is stressful
It's
as
stressful.
fuck,
Right.
and
Right.
stress elevates your
Living
blood pressure.
living while Black. I mean, and like I said, most black and brown people, especially in the inner city, live in what's called food deserts. They don't
Yeah.
have places to go to get fresh fruit. So then, and then fresh fruit costs a lot. We are trying to stretch our dollar to feed our families for a prolonged period of time. So we're not about to pay $10 for a bag of apples when we can buy, you know, meat, bread, and
And the
chips.
big bag of cereal, the $2, $3
you
bag. Yo,
know,
I felt kind of bad, right? Cause the grocery store I go to is kind of a boutique grocery store, and the only
mhm.
reason I go
A
there is
bougie grocery store because you balling out of control.
no,
Ha-
it's
Hashtag
because
rich man's problems.
no, it's because the
Mhm,
crowd, there's not a lot of people there ever. Even
mhm, mhm,
so I like go get some dried fruit. I'm thinking things that don't really have expiration. I go check out with dried fruit. This is what I had: dried banana chips, dried dates, dried
mhm,
mangoes,
mhm,
and dried plantains, and a
mhm.
little thing of ginger. Guess how much that shit
Spe-
costs?
Spell plantains, probably $60.
It's like $63 and some change for just,
Absolutely.
and I felt kind of
Hashtag
bad.
crazy.
I'm like,
Hashtag
shit,
crazy rich man problems. See what I'm telling y'all, BLLL? Like I said, who's the crazy rich man that's walking his property with the pool in the pool house? Hashtag
man.
crazy man, rich man problems.
Walking that bitch with the
Absolutely.
shotgun too. Like I wish one of y'all motherfuckers would, man. I wish y'all would. So anyway, I guess that concludes because now we're over and I'm not sure what's gonna happen. But this
Oh,
concludes
geez.
another episode of Black Law and Legal Lies, social
Yeah.
distancing edition. And
Mm-hmm.
we really hope you guys enjoyed meeting our guest that was just walking around in the fucking
Walking through it. Did
background.
you see? Did
Yeah,
you see?
just
Walking
walking
through the
around.
background,
Uh-huh. Like ain't shit. My name is Dan.
mixing
Keep
up
up with
cake.
me. Oh, wait, hold on. Strawberry shortcake?
That's correct.
That's what we
Strawberry
doing?
shortcake.
That's what we doing? Okay.
Tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
That's what we doing. I'm
No, that's
Dan.
not what we
You keep
doing.
up with me at I am Dan on drugs on Twitter and on IG. Keep up with the show, all platforms at Black Law Podcast.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, and you can follow me at I Tell Legal Lies on Twitter. Did you hear the jingle jingle? That's my
Man.
bad. It's my badass dog jingle jingling right there.
So wait, hold on. So y'all some of the fools that went out to the damn grocery store and
Who?
making
Who?
strawberry shortcake and what
That
else?
was already gotten, man.
And what else?
That was already gotten.
What else?
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
no,
you went out to the
no, no.
grocery store today and
Oh wait, hold up. No, 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 no. Once a week. You remember that whole once a week? This was already planned right here. Look, 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 look. There she go again. You should have
mhm.
just turned around and waved. There she go again.
Man,
All right.
all I know is might have to do drive by plate through the Windows service or whatever. So, all right, peace
All
out.
right. Later.